rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's Valentine's Day Eve. It's Valentine's Day Eve. All right, and we welcome you to another Activated Morning program with us today. All right, in studio is Ari and myself, Roleza, and we're just giving a shout out to everyone who's listening, for those who may have been here with us since 6 a.m. Yes, it's always appreciated, right? Those who are going to be joining us on the live, those who are listening to us in Radio Land, those who are on their way to school, to work. Maybe it's your vacation, then you're just on your way to have some fun. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have us at WeFM with you. All right, good morning to you, Ari.
Good morning, and good morning to all the listeners. Good morning to everyone on their way to work, school, just starting the day. Special good morning to those in the diaspora. And yeah, it's Tuesday, February 13th. What are we discussing this morning? So we're starting with the unemployment rates that created quite a buzz on X this weekend. The rates were pointed by Wayne Chen. If you don't know who Wayne Chen is, he is a Jamaican businessman. He's the chairman of Super Plus Food Stores, CMV Television, and Jamaican's Southern Regional Health Authority. And he made a tweet, and that tweet had a list of the unemployment rates in the Caribbean, to which St. Vincent and the Grenadines tied for first. Now, we already had this discussion already, but here are some of the stats that he posted. Guadeloupe, 19%. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 19%. St. Lucia, 16.5%. Haiti, 14.8%. Antigua and Barbuda, 14.8%. Dominica, 13.3%. French Guiana, 13.2%. Curacao, 13.1%. Martinique, 12.8%. Guyana, 12.4%, Grenada 12%, Barbados 9.9%, Aruba 9.6%, the Bahamas 8.8%, Suriname 8.6%, Turks and Caicos Islands 7.8%, British Virgin Islands 6.2%, Puerto Rico 5.7%, Dominican Republic 4.7%, Montserrat 4.6%, Jamaica 4.2%, Belize 4%, St. Eustatius, I'm not familiar with that country, but 3.9%, Trinidad and Tobago, 3.7%, Cayman Islands, 3.7%, U.S. Virgin Islands, 3.3%, Bonaire, 3%, Saba, 2.5%, Cuba, 1.8%. There is no data for Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, nor St. Martin or St. Martin. And he quotes his sources as the IMF, World Bank, local news reports. I think it's important to note that these rates are per capita.
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on it, though, after reading all of that?
I think it's interesting how high up St. Vincent is compared to countries like Haiti, that it's international news, all the problems that Haiti is going through. Haitians are trying to leave Haiti, trying to go to the Dominican Republic, trying to get... No matter what country you travel in the world, you're going to meet Jamaicans and you're going to meet Haitians. But the difference between the Jamaican and the Haitians are Haitians are always trying to escape life in Haiti. In most cases, at least, they're trying to escape life in Haiti.
And Haiti is which number there?
Haiti is number 4, 14.8%.
And we are where?
We're tied for first with Guadeloupe at 19%.
Okay, it's interesting.
Now, there are a number of countries that have a large population that are here. Guyana, Barbados, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Belize, Trinidad and Tobago. And you would expect that the percentage might be a little higher in these countries, but it's not. Trinidad is 3.7%. Barbados is 9.9%. So basically 10%. Dominican Republic is 4.7%. Montserrat has a tiny population and a lot of people left Montserrat because of its volcanic activities, but they are 4.6%. And actually, I think Montserrat is offering British citizenship to people who are working for 3 years in Montserrat. They're really trying to get more people onto the island, but yet the unemployment rate is 3.
Montserrat a British territory still though?
Yes, which is why they could offer that. So they stand at 4.6%. So 4.6 of their already small population. That says a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I note where the person is quoting their stats or where they gather their stats from. But I suppose for me to feel comfortable, confident, I suppose I would like to see another corroborated exercise done in terms of where these stats are gathered, just to see whether or not they are on par with what is being presented in this particular report. One of the things that I think we suffer with a lot here in SVG is the fact that entrepreneurship, working for yourself, isn't necessarily something that is, taught or pushed, right? And I know that, yes, persons speak about it in a sort of abstract way, or it's an ideal, or it is something that is said that we would like to see happen. But in terms of the reality of what happens, I can't say that I feel strongly that it is something that is actually pushed, right? I tend to find that our education system seems to want to churn out or to turn out more employees as opposed to persons who can open businesses for themselves, right? I think, as Ari and I may have discussed on a different program before, many times, I think that persons think that they have to upon leaving school, that the first thing that they need to do is to seek employment with someone else, right? Rather than necessarily say you're sitting down and waiting to be employed by someone. What skills do you have? Did you, in your education, your formal education training, did you also learn a skill that can help you to either use it as your main source of income or as a side income, right? There are many talented persons out there, but for whatever reason, they don't think that they can actually advance themselves using their skills and use it as a main source of income, as opposed to something that they do on the side, right? So I think one of the things that may help to alleviate this situation, if indeed it is correct, not that I'm saying it isn't, but it's just that I would like to see another report done so that I can see the comparisons. If indeed it is correct, I would like to see the push for a bit more entrepreneurship. And in speaking in that vein as well, we also have to look at that whole thrust of supporting locals. So in that sense, where persons have their businesses, they'd be able to know that, yes, they can live well enough, or they can survive well enough based on what they've chosen for their profession. So maybe that's one way in which we could start to combat or alleviate the levels of high unemployment.
I don't disagree with what was posted, but Montserrat population as of 2020 has been 4,992. And according to global data, as of 2020, my bad, 2020, the unemployment rate was 4.67. 2021, it was 4.58. And currently, what Wayne Chen posted, it said Montserrat was at 4.6%. And we did have the statistics released earlier where St. Vincent was highest for unemployment in the Caribbean. And I do think that this factors in the entrepreneurs. I really do believe they're talking about persons who are actually without an income. But Yeah.
All right. So as we're speaking in that vein, so I'm hoping that most persons, well, if you got your hand on the newspapers and they were containing all newspapers on the weekend, there is a summary of recommendations on the minimum wages for further consultation. All right. So if you could get your hand on a newspaper, there is the wages that the wages as of 2017 and what are the proposed wages as of 2024, right? In some categories, it seems as though to me it's a bit of a jump. In some cases, you see like something like $500 extra that is going to be added on to person's salaries, which to me is good. Whether or not receiving a salary of, let's say, $12.75 is still enough for a particular person to live off of, that's a different conversation that we can engage in. However, we're seeing that there is a proposal for different sectors or varying sectors. And I think the recently added sector would have been for call center workers. I think this category was not there before. So for employees as well as employers, I would suggest that if you haven't seen it as yet, that you get your hands on one of the papers so that you can see what the proposed minimum wage is going to be. And just know that it is for further for consultation. And if there are any queries, that feedback can be submitted to the cabinet secretary in the Prime Minister's office by Friday, the 16th of February. All right. And there's an email address, well, two email addresses, or an email address contained with the ads that were placed. All right. So get your hands on that. But it's a good step in the right direction. You know, I saw one category of persons who living off of, what was it, $570 a month. I don't know how it is anybody surviving off of $570 a month, but in this particular category, it's going to move to $1,200. So a decent enough increase, and let's see what happens here.
All right. And Shaniqua Maloney, congrats to you on breaking your own national record in the 800 meters. Maloney, 24, according to Loop News, clocked 1 minute, 58 seconds, and 69 milliseconds as she stormed to victory in an outdoor race in the 2024 Tyson Invitational in Arkansas, USA on Saturday. This was the first time that a Vincentian female athlete finished an 800 meter under 2 minutes. Maloney received an added prize as her time surpassed the 2024 Paris Olympic Games entry standard of 1 minute 59 seconds. And we have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning. I listened to the program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something very interesting. But what interests me mostly is when the lady says she don't know how a person could survive on $570 a month. That I would like to wonder, how could you survive on $280 per month? That's beating me. I mean, you're giving somebody $280 per month and you're telling me that is all they could get from the state, and therefore have some things to do with it, and then you're telling me you can't get anything else from government as long as you. And I'm talking specifically about public assistance. You're getting public assistance of $280 per month. And you have to live on that, and then the state will tell you that the government have a policy that as long as you're on public assistance, you can't receive any other financial assistance from government. And the thing about it is that you don't get in it when the month finished, because the month is past half, or the month is about half now, and you're still waiting in it. So therefore, you're in more poverty because you have to borrow and you have to beg, and it is a lot of problems, and these are little things that the government needs to look at. So it's a very interesting topic. We need to discuss it a bit more.
All right. But is it a case where a lot of these persons who are on public assistance, are they able-bodied in terms of, can they be employed somewhere else? Is the public is right? So is the public assistance possibly to just tie them over temporarily until they find full-time employment?
No, you have a lot of people I could tell you who is on public assistance and have jobs, you know. But you see, the government short-sighted, and then there are some people now who is just not in. I beg the government, I write them, I do all that, take me to hell off the public assistance and put me to do a job, because if I've been getting paid, I don't get, my bills would have done pay. But waiting for public assistance or keeping in poverty, I want a voice in it really, but sometimes when you're talking this place, people figure you're against the government for things that affect you. and I've been talking about this for a very long time. It is hard to wait until this time to get public assistance, and then you lose your utility, and you have to borrow some money from somebody else. And by the time you get the public, it is no use to you. And I've been talking about this for such a long time. The government is short-sighted, and some of the citizens not paying much attention as to what's really going on. Just to hear that, but we develop it a lot more. But when you're talking with credit, how it is.
Oh, all right, no problem. All right, thanks for making your contribution onto this. All right. All right, I think I probably need to do a bit of, I know of the public assistance, but in terms of who qualifies for it, etc., those details I don't know. So I probably have to do a bit of research and get some information on that before I could speak with a bit more of authority on the matter. All right, Ari, you know anything about the public assistance?
Don't know anything about the public assistance.
All right. So we are going to take a break at this time because we need to present to you today's traffic talk. So we'll resume our commentary on other matters after traffic talk. So stay with us.
Save up to 30%